Tsunami Blu is a Wi-Fi sharing platform for neighbors. You could think of it as Airbnb for your Wi-Fi. And what I'm about to show you now is the flow that we built for the subscription. The neighbor who is subscribing to a host's Wi-Fi, another neighbor who is sharing their Wi-Fi. Cool. So imagine I live in a dense apartment complex or something, and my neighbor already happens to be sharing their internet. And I find out about this because you are the neighbor who's sharing, let's say, for the sake of simplicity, and you threw flyers under my door, and then you gave me instructions as to how I would start using your internet. And the instructions, it says, go to your list of Wi-Fi's and find Tsunami Blu, Internet Now, and click on it. What happens next is this subscription portal that you're seeing. And this will allow us to create a new Wi-Fi, and I can connect all my devices to it. So there's a very light verification, which is the phone number verification. And so this sends a text message, it's built using Twilio, whatnot, kind of like a classic text message verification, phone number verification. And then here, we verify that. So now we know that I'm not a random person. I registered with a US phone number. And then the next step is Wi-Fi for, I forgot the name of this place, I think it's Hannah.
Hannah House, yeah.
I enter a password. So what's going to happen in the next 30 seconds is Wi-Fi for Hannah is going to be created, and it'll start broadcasting. And using the password that we just created, we're going to connect to it, and we'll have internet.
Give me the economics, the numbers, so how much you're going to make on each user, how much revenue, income, some numbers. So
we try to think of, we model the business as we make money off of each router, no matter how many users it serves. Because let me break it down this way. Let's say you're the neighbor who's sharing their internet, right? Let's say you're paying $100 a month for your bill, and then you decide to share $50 worth of it, 50 megabits of bandwidth, and our cut here will be something between 10 to 20%. Of the $20 that we are collecting from your neighbors, we're going to take $5.
Okay.
So the unit economics would be somewhere between $3 to $7 per router, and that's a month. Yeah, that's the main revenue stream.
Okay.
But once we get coverage, once your users, you have neighbors that are using your Wi-Fi, we can actually bring more quality, bring more value with software by actually doing upgrades in your router. And one of these is the most important one for me is actually quality of service. This means better Skype calls, more consistent internet service quality, so your YouTube video doesn't go from HD to that terrible quality. It doesn't get all blurry, or it doesn't go back and forth in between. Your quality, your connection is more consistent. It's called quality of service, and it's very easy to provide. Another one is ad blocking. Let's imagine if we enabled ad blocking on your router, which means whenever you're home, even when you're on your phone, there are no ads. Like the apps with ads can also be filtered. Another one is VPN. VPN is a harder sell because most people are non-technical and they don't really see a need for it. But it seems like it might be something that would add value to a lot of people's lives, because I actually met friends who are using VPNs to watch shows when they're not home. Because I guess through their Comcast account, if they're home, they're able to stream TV. But if they're outside, they can't. So they stream through their home connection.
Okay, got it. What's your competition? What people can use instead of your solution right now? Okay, so my main question, I like so far what I see, but the main question is how you gonna make it big? How you gonna promote it? That's the key problem I see. So tell me more about it. What's going to be the
Do you want
next
to talk
step?
about market size or marketing strategy?
No, the market size. I understand the market size. What's
Okay.
the strategy to get there? Because throwing these flyers, it's good for to try to get a few signups,
Yeah.
but 40 signups is not what I'm interested in. So I'm interested in
agree.
40 million signups. So how you jump from 40 signups to 40 million? That's what I'm interested in. Approximately. We don't know it for sure, but
Yeah.
give me some hints of how you're going to do that.
So we identified the target demographic as early innovators, younger demographic,
Okay.
living in dense areas, right? And how do we access these people? So far, we achieved the most success with Facebook ads and the virality that we were able to achieve last week. So another thing we are going after is bloggers who write about saving money, passive income, and sharing economy. I think we should go after users who are already convinced for sharing economy. Uber, Lyft drivers, their friends and families, Airbnb hosts, kitesurfing people.
And
Because
how
sharing
you
economy is a-
gonna approach them? How you gonna reach them?
Online marketing, cold emails.
Online marketing.
And
Like
online marketing.
AdWords?
No. Actually, AdWords, we are not spending any money on AdWords because it's extremely hard for us to acquire anything from AdWords. Facebook is one of them, but Reddit seems to be a very useful source. We actually acquired 2 users just by posting in alpha beta users, and Reddit is pretty against self-promoting, so we were very careful about that. But all in all, there are a lot of places that sharing economy startups can be featured, and a lot of places that people go to read about how they save money.
First of all, I really like the idea. I think I'm not an expert, but I feel like if there's no competition, and as far as I understand, if I trust your judgment, so there's no competition, and it may be big. It may be big in the future, it may be big. I can see the potential of many hotels to use it. Private hotels, small places, Airbnb, like you just said, Airbnb hosts and the student campuses and everywhere. So it could be big, it could be huge. And since there's no competition, since you're just starting it and the product is quite small to develop, you just did some software, then some idea, and then you just put it to the market. So I really liked it. What my biggest concern is that you're spending most of your time on technical things instead of it's kind of typical mistake, which in your case I think it's not fatal. So I would like I kind of thinking of giving you money now. So I'm leaning towards yes, not towards no. But the main concern is that you don't have a company. I cannot give it right now because you have to incorporate at least. It's
Exactly.
$200, just do it. It's not so difficult.
Yeah.
So make a company. So I'm leaning towards giving you something. But if I would do that, you can incorporate next week, and then you just can email you and I'll send you some money. But the big concern is that I don't want you to use this money in order to acquire customers or to just keep your company running for the next months or just to keep your lights on. You need to go to bigger investors. You need to go to bigger money. You cannot bring it to the market by yourself. It's not possible. You will just kill yourself if you continue trying to please your current customers just to get new features, just to give them new features, to please them, to make them happy, to grow more customers by making existing customers happy. It's a strategy for years. And no investor would like that, because I want this to be, like I said, jumping from 40 installations, from 40 products to 40 million in 2 years.
Yes.
I don't want to wait for 10 years, and I don't want to see in a year that you have 4,000 users. That would be a disaster. That would be a complete collapse for me. I would just waste my money, because 4,000 means the company is dead, because you will just be sending these routers, making some cash for you. It's too slow. It's too small money. Your valuation will be still small. Now your valuation is, we normally say 1 million. So you're because the good idea, 2 founders, you just made something, the market doesn't have it, good, you have the valuation. But if you keep working on products, on the product, the valuation will stay like that for the next year. And it means for me, I am losing my money. If I give you now like $10,000, it will be $10,000 in a year, which is not what I want. I want it to be $100,000. To make it $100,000, you need to jump from this valuation, which is basic, up to like 10 millions or 50 millions. To do that, you need some people who will support you. I mean, marketing people, promotion people, who will give you big resources for the marketing. You cannot do it yourself. And you need to, like right now, you need to stop focusing on product. The product, you have it. The features, the sign-ups, you need to do something not to get these angry customers on the internet.